Last two questions on the test, or last two parts I should say of the final question, are bacteria questions. These, similar to the money one, whereas as soon as you see money and interest you're going to go right to that formula, same thing here. We're always going to use the formula A equals P E to the RT. Where R is your growth rate, T is the time, P is your starting amount again, and A is your final amount. So we're told that a bacteria doubles every 8 days. That must mean we go from 1 to 2. So 2 is our final amount, where 1 is our starting amount, every 8 days. So 8 is T, R is unknown, so we don't know the rate. We obviously have to find the rate first before we figure out how long it'll take to triple. And this is kind of the standard type of bacteria question. It'll give you some information that you can plug in to find the rate at which it grows. Then you plug that rate back in to find a new time. So, because we need to get that R down, I'm going to take the ln of both sides. 8R will come down, and a ln E. Now we know ln E is just 1, so we don't even need to worry about that. So R equals ln 2 over 8. Punch that in your calculator. Now the question asks, how long will it take to triple? So now we're going to use that same rate, because the rate is consistent. 3 equals 1e to the, we know our rate is ln 2 over 8. To the t. Now we're looking for t in the exponent on e because we're looking for how long it will take to triple. Ln both sides, because once again our variable's in the exponent. I'm going to bring this exponent down as I ln. Ln of e is 1, so it's simply going to be ln of 3 divided by ln of 2. And we can actually times this by 8. So I'm multiplying both sides by 8 and dividing by ln 2, and that'll leave us with t. Simple algebra there. Again, the algebra should be very simple. Just recognize as soon as you have the variable in the exponent, you have to ln both sides to bring it down to the front, and then it's just solving for that to get t on its own. Punch that into your calculator, and you should be good to go for the number of days it takes to triple. I'm going to pause, erase, and we'll do E. Part E says find the half-life of a bacteria that decays following this formula, where T is in months. So what does half-life mean? Half-life means the amount of time it takes in order for a bacteria to decay to half of its original value. So let's say there were 1,000,000 bacteria, or 1,000, let's say, then it's the time it takes to go from 1,000 down to 500. Note that again, with half-life, it doesn't matter what the starting amount is, right? Whether you're going from 2 to 1, 10 to 5, or 1,000 to 500, that's going to be the same amount of time following an exponential equation like this. So they've already basically stated our formula, which we already know is A equals P E to the RT. You'll notice that R equals negative 0.075, and this is because it's decaying, so we would expect this to be a negative number. So we're looking for half-life. That means if we start with 2 as our principal, e to the negative 0.075 t, we would have to get to half of that, which is 1. If we started with 20, we'd get to 10. Always that first step is going to be to divide, so you're going to end up with a half on the left side. Just like if it was asking about tripling, you end up with 3 on the left side. Equals e to the negative 0.075 t. Pretty straightforward from here. We need to solve for t, which is caught in our exponent, so we're going to ln both sides in order to bring it down. Equals negative 0.075 t ln of e. This is why ln is such a helpful logarithm to use when there's an e, because ln of e is 1, so it just goes away. So your final answer when you plug it into your calculator is ln of a half divided by negative 0.075. And that would be the amount of time in the half-life, so the amount of time it takes to decay half of its life. Those are very common bacteria questions. They either give you the formula or they don't, but we already know what it is. Oftentimes you're going, like in part D, you'll use the information given to solve for R, plug R back in, and solve for your new T that they're asking for. Hopefully this is super helpful. This test covers pretty much everything you'll need to know in this unit, and you can always reach out to us with more questions. info@arnoldtutoring.com. Thanks. Oh, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're posting video solutions and new questions every day.